Deathstroke number 7, written by Kyle Higgins, art by Joe Bennett. We left off last issue with Deathstroke taking on the big bad, taking him out in a electromagnetic pulse. And then we see that the person who's behind all of this actually really and for truly is his son, Grant, who's supposed to be dead. This issue picks up with Peabody showing up to Detroit where the big battle took place and coming across Slade in the wreckage. He really should be dead, but he just lost a lot of blood and his healing factor's kicking in. So they're making a drive back through the city, and Deathstroke's basically just filling in Peabody, but apparently as Peabody's like, okay, look, you can tell me all this stuff, but I'm getting you to the hospital, and you can tell me there as well. How about you rest for now? He's like, no hospital. Look, we need to go now before Grant's location changes. And it's like, oh, you mean somebody has him? And they're like taking him somewhere else? It's like, no, Grant's the one in charge of all this. And he's like, what? So then we see somehow he tracked him down to a house. It doesn't say where the house is, but just a house where they're fighting. And we see him in the legacy armor, the same as the last guy had, except now half of the mask is Grant's mask. And basically this all extends out to one extended fight scene where Grant's just like, you wanted a son you could be proud of, Dad, and this is what it is. Now I'm going to kill you because that's the only thing that will be able to make you proud, because that's the kind of son you wanted. And the arguments that he makes are just like, look, if it was all just business, if you wanted to be the greatest killer of all time, you'd stay quiet. You'd shut up. But the fact is that you don't worry about the business side of it. You don't care about doing that. You want to be known. You want to be recognized. And the reason why is because you are just this broken man who cannot think outside of himself for like 5 seconds. It's the whole reason that you never loved me. And the fight scene is brutal. It's got a lot going on to it. Maybe not as structured as previous fight scenes have been throughout the series, but definitely good. And as Grant is basically about to go for the killing blow, and he sees that Deathstroke is just old, and he's got like tremors in his hand, and he's just basically washed up compared to Grant. And Grant's about to do the killing blow. He's electrified, and the suit is paralyzed. And we see that the parents of the girl who we originally thought were the people behind it, they put the failsafe in the suit that locks it all up because they don't like the fact that Grant lied to them about the relation to Deathstroke. So they come up to Deathstroke and they say, here's the deal. All of the money that's funding this legacy thing is out of our hands. If you kill us, it's just going to keep on happening. However, if you want this to stop, you need to kill your own son. That is the only, so that you know the pain of losing a child. That is the only way that we will we will not come after you anymore, but you have to kill your own son. And Grant's freaking out because he's like, that's not what we agreed on, blah, 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 blah. But Deathstroke stands up, he looks over at his son, and he's like, I don't have a son, and I don't negotiate. And he immediately goes and kills the two people. Takes a few shots to the chest, but overall, they're dead. So he collapses. Grant, because they're not paralyzing him anymore, stands back up, and he's got the sword raised over his head, ready to chop off Deathstroke's. He just has a moment of realization, and he drops the sword and walks away, with Deathstroke, the mother and the father all just lying bloodied on the ground as he leaves. And that's the end of it. Okay, I mean, I like it. It was definitely it didn't really do a lot in terms of forwarding a narrative, but it did a lot in terms of forwarding the plot of, we set up this whole Grant thing, the backstory, how they fought with each other, their relationship. We set up these parents. This is we have one more issue left in this trade, but this feels like the end of the arc, where it is, okay, Grant is still alive. He's out there for Deathstroke. He let him live because of his own thing going on. Like, this added depth to the characters that has been there the whole time, but it really brings it to the forefront. Art-wise, it's really good. It's really fantastic. Like I said, the fight scenes don't feel as structured as they previously have been, but the last page of them just lying all bloody, it's a white background with just the Deathstroke title on it. Very well done. I do enjoy the art of Bennett very much. So, no, I do enjoy the issue on the whole. I don't think this is maybe as entertaining as previous issues, and it definitely doesn't do as much to move things forward, but it is a necessary and solid issue on its own right. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7.5. It's doing a good job. I don't feel like anything was really left by the wayside. The only thing that I could possibly critique against it is the fact that the parents have a kill switch built in, and Grant didn't think of that. It seems a little bit iffy, but at the same time, Grant has always been, at least the way Deathstroke portrays him, is a little bit lesser caliber, a little bit less prepared. So, yeah, I think it actually does more to characterize it that it is able to be stopped just by an old couple with a remote control. So yeah, no, I'm in on Deathstroke, and I'm really liking where it goes.